I'm not sure how to start this video at all. I already gone through like 3 or 5 of these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't feel like I'm weird anymore. Well, I'm still weird as a person, of course, but like a lot of things have happened over a decent period of time over this year. Like personally, I never thought it was that big of a deal, but I guess it's the little things in life that matter. And I never thought for the life of me that I'd end up in a parasocial like relationship with somebody, even though I'm pretty small and whatnot, but I don't know. I always thought that, you know, I was pretty weird as a person, and I didn't want to ever push away other people who were weird because I know how that feels like to be isolated, to be pushed away because I'm weird, right? I've done plenty of weird things when I was younger, and honestly, not even younger. Even now, in recent times, I'm still learning, and I feel like I've improved. And honestly, I feel like I finally understand what I do that's weird, and now I know what not to do. Um, that I it's basically like this. All these things, all the stuff I just brought up, they're all over the place. But I mean, I guess uh, maybe if I was drunk, I'd talk more clearly. But this is me sober. I'm more stupider when I'm uh not when I don't have alcohol in my system. Surprisingly enough, not that I plan to drink ever or often again. This is gonna be that Christmas time thing or day after, but I wondered why I was attracting weird people. Just people who behaved weirdly. And, well, the obvious answer, of course, was that I'm, also weird. It's not like I don't like weird things. I do. I find them really funny. And I also find how other people, when they react to that kind of stuff, is very funny as well. It's just something that's just a part of me, I guess. I couldn't explain why. Maybe it's just like something I developed and then just kind of became a part of me, or who knows. But I'm a weird person, and of all the weird things I've done, well, honestly, all the stuff I've talked about, there's plenty of things I kind of can't say because I need to consult the book of law like several times over just to make sure that what I did when I was like 13 years old was, actually not batshit insane. And, well, I don't know, but when I thought about it, the only reason why I ever went to pretty damn extreme weirdnesses was because I kind of, in a sense, this is very embarrassing to admit, but I sometimes acted weirder than I usually am simply to test other people. I found it entertaining, but it was also because I was afraid of getting hurt. But you see, I'm already a weird person, right? But I don't know what's like people's, tolerance. So instead of like me simply being open, I instead do something or share things that are honestly significantly worse, right? And I do things in that kind of impulsive way because that way I don't know how to really explain it, but I don't know. It's not like I consciously do it, so it's like this is what I'm guessing what I do, but it's essentially by pretending to be someone more weirder, and if everybody else is fine with it, then I can be myself because I'm less worse. However, what I didn't consider was that, I'm not as weird as the things I do naturally. It's just like a bit of an impulse that I have to do just to test the limits. I have to make sure the environment's safe, so I'll basically, despite the fact I can tell, that there's usually a landmine here. There should be a landmine here. It's definitely hidden, but some of the dust doesn't brush it off. Through my experience setting them off, I know, where they tend to be, but I still throw rocks onto them anyway, and well, it blows me up. Which, then I start crying about why am I? Why did I get hurt by that? Well, maybe I shouldn't have set off that landmine to begin with, and well, here we are. I finally realized that I'm not as weird as I make myself out to be, and that I have, pretended to be. It was just like an impulsive behavioral thing that I did, but generally I don't even care about most of the stuff that gets sent to me because, like, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of, like, I do get weirded out and I do get disturbed. It's just like I see it once, I chuckle at it, and then I move on. But getting sent it over and over and stuff, that's one of the things that, made me realize that, it's just like, I did find it amusing, but then, doing it over and over, getting it sent as if I'm also into it, it's just like, why the hell did I initially even said that? I had that thought once, and then the thought of, as it kept on coming back and people kept on coming to me and like saying and doing these kind of stuff where I'm just like, I do weird things. I find it hilarious. That's why I started the Chris Chan talking the reaction stuff as well, because I thought it'd be funny the first part, and then, well, after that, I kind of fell off almost instantly. So that's also like just something I need to ask myself. If I why did I do things that I know I wouldn't enjoy doing in the long run? I'm just gonna find it amusing as like a little joke, but it's not like I genuinely care about it or like it or anything of the sort. You know, days after. And I get to enjoy what's like weeks and months and years after because of all the stuff that I've done that's really, really weird. And a lot of but that's who I am. And it's just, I realized that I'm not as odd as, because I don't really like it. I honestly, the only reason why I did it, I kept on asking myself that, and that was the answer I got. I just did it because I wanted to test people, and I found it amusing. I found pleasure in people just finding it slightly off-putting, and then went about my day. Though, I don't know how the brain works, but if my guess is correct, then after it became a bit of a behavior in my body and my mind and whatnot, I tend to do it even after I know it's safe, just to make sure. But, well, topics and subjects and things that set off people are it's not something you can easily test. You have to go with the topic specific, and, well, the only way I can actually test if people will accept me or not is to actually display myself. Not someone who's worse than I am or someone who's, more innocent than I am. It's just being myself. And so I kind of thought to myself, that there was a very, very, after all the stuff that's happened to me, I decided to think to myself, maybe being normal is better than being weird, but I already knew for an absolute fact, for an absolute feeling, that being myself, even if it's weird, is better than simply conforming, because you already see how it is. People like to conform and whatnot. They have no soul. All they do is just follow trends, and they can't think for themselves. I could not value their life at all. They're disposable. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They are disposable. But it's simply that, it's not about being weird is being yourself, nor is being normal simply conforming and simply obeying. It's just mindless obeying. it's more like you have to learn. What I had to learn was that you have to essentially be considerate of others and be aware of their limits and whatnot. Try to tone things down if they're not enjoying things, you know. Try not to do things that really weird people out because it's an unpleasant feeling, and you know, I can't describe it for the life of me. I can't describe why it's off-putting, why it's disgusting, but it is. And you know, I'm I kind of forgot that, or I guess it's my first time actually learning because I've never been put into many sexual situations, and you know, I guess it's going to be my first time ever. Or I guess that was kind of my first time ever where I was kind of disgusted in this kind of way, just uncomfortable. Not, you know, disgusted. There's been immoral actions which I've been disgusted by, absolutely abhor. But uncomfortable, just being uncomfortable is like an entire new sensation when somebody does something that's simply weird. It's not necessarily harmful, but it's just uncomfortable. You don't want to see it simply because you don't. And, well, most people don't want to see a lot of the stuff that I tend to fucking try to say and do. And because I already know, like, consciously already, like, why that isn't a good, you know, like saying certain things is bad and what it would cause people to think certain things if you say it in a certain way or phrase it in this word or decide to say it this way. You know, I did that, and I never actually considered why people were uncomfortable. And you know, there's a good point in being uncomfortable. It isn't just about, you know, it isn't that they have to fucking learn to be more comfortable with other people and who they are. That's not what this is about. It's just if you're being uncomfortable, if you make others uncomfortable, then it's just very, very uncomfortable. And you know, maybe they're not for you if that's truly who you are, but honestly, most of the times, that wasn't who I was. At least the times that I'm thinking about that matter to me. And I'm ready to, and you know, I think I'm finally ready to figure out how to go about my life now, because I finally know what happens if you do things the wrong way, by being uncomfortable, by being weird simply for the sake of it. Because you know, then I guess that kind of makes my normal, although it does make my normal ass, it makes me look more normal by kind of comparison. It's just, I don't know, the world's so chaotic, it doesn't even matter. It depends on what you find weird and what you don't. It's not like a range of things you can really measure, but I don't know how to really put it. But I don't know how else to put it other than, the way to go about life is to be cool, you know? It's not about being normal because that's just boring as shit. It's not about being weird because that's uncomfortable. It's about being cool, you know, being yourself but also being considerate. Lending a hand but also just having fun, not caring about what others think. It's about being cool. And I don't know how else to put it. And that's the best I can really try to strive for, because that is the best you can try to strive for. Being normal, you have to sacrifice so much of yourself, and being weird, you are just actively pushing away others in a way. If you're trying to be uncomfortable and whatnot, if you're just trying to be like, uh, a deviant for the sake of it. And honestly, it's not beneficial to you. It doesn't feel comfortable. And although I don't think much of it, I didn't think of it much of it at the time. uh And, now that I know how uncomfortable some of the stuff that I've said and how I behaved can feel, because somebody else decided to do it to me. And, now I understand. And I guess I learned the hard way. I definitely did. I learned this lesson in probably the worst way possible. It had to be done to me. I didn't get, like, fucking punched or anything of the sort. And, all the ridicule in the world did not help me learn this at all. It was literally just doing unto me what I have done to others. And that was by meeting, well, genuinely weird people. People who are kind of uncomfortable to be around. Which, personally, I'm more tolerant than most people, so despite being, like, sent gay porn directly into my DMs, I didn't really care that much. I literally had to ask around as well, just like, and everybody kept on saying, like, dude, I would have just fucking banned that asshole and blocked that asshole immediately as soon as they did that, and I was just like, well, I mean, he's just weird. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, like, so you get where I'm coming from. I have a bit higher of a tolerance than most people, and I don't think anybody can really match that. Even when people do, like, weird things, I just kind of, like, let it slide, even though I shouldn't. And, you know, I think I need to also just make it clear that I'm uncomfortable with it, and that it's just unwelcome. And it's not like I'm gonna harshly punish it, but at some point, if you're just doing it maliciously for the hell of it, then well, I mean, you kind of had it coming. If you're just here to be a dickhead, or just here to start something, or just to like cause reactions in people, then I guess that's the type of person you are, and you're not really that pleasant to be around. And all these words, of course, are some things that have been said to me, and I finally realized what they all meant. And unfortunately for every single person who's ever fucking told me that, I did not get it into my head at all because I simply did not understand up until the very point where somebody decided to do this shit to me. And I guess that really speaks to how stupid I am, but better late than never. Better to learn it hard than not being able to learn. People learn the easy way, people learn the hard way, and then there's just people who just don't fucking learn at all. And I think I'll just go ahead and try to line it with silver and say that the fact I even learned that at all was in fact a very, very good thing. And I'm gonna try to be cool from that one. Not normal. I don't want to be a fucking normie. Never will. Yeah, but I'm also not gonna be as weird as I usually am. I'm just gonna be myself. I like talking about things. I like doing things, and now that I've kind of experimented a bit, just learning how to express myself. I didn't even, that stuff comes naturally to other people, but I'm born a dumbass, uh, I finally figured out like how to even be myself, and I don't need to go to an extreme to be myself to the point where I'm not myself, nor do I need to, I don't need to hold myself back, pretend to be normal so that way I fit in, but I also don't need to like express myself or just go, you know, nuts out, commando, just wild like that to the point where my personality is depending on me not being normal. It's about being you. It's about being a good guy. It's about being cool. And that's what I'm going to try to strive for from now on. And honestly, I'm also going to try to say right now that if any, I don't know, I'm pretty sure 100% that all the shit I've done is going to have like, there's like pages about me about all the weird shit I've done. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like say that after 2023, once 2024 comes, once 2024 starts, every single thing past this point will, if the only thing people can say bad about me has been past this year, in this year, and in the past, then I guess that's an indicator that I have changed as a human being because, well, they can only bring back stuff from then, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for anyway. That's what I want to say. Of course, I probably will mess up even in 2024. I'll make mistakes even then, but I kind of know where to go from here, and kind of figured it out. Well, thanks to, just experiencing what it's like to be on the other end of me. And I don't know. It feels awkward. I don't want to say sorry because I feel like whenever I say sorry, it's me giving up and not trying to change because it's like I admit that I made a mistake, but I won't change myself because I can't change myself. That's why I'm saying sorry because I have to beg for it. I have to ask for it rather than earning it through actions and changing behaviors myself. So that's basically what I'm going to do from now on is just be cool. And I don't want to fucking. I don't want to, make others uncomfortable and just like be an unpleasant experience. Life is, it's not worth bogging yourself down. It's just like an unnecessary strain for no good reason. It's not something, it's like too much fucking effort. You can be yourself with like other people who's like minded. It's the age of the internet. It's wide. You can find like almost any weirdo just like you, almost with like a single Google search, and you can always just find a community if you just find like-minded people, and eventually you'll find one. It's the internet. It connects like less than 7 billion, since not everybody has access to the internet. Maybe about who knows how many, but it's less than the human population, but almost everybody has it. So I don't know, like 50%, 4.5 billion, who knows? And maybe depending on who much speaks your language and yada yada yada. Well, you get the point. You can be yourself. You can be your complete unhinged self if you find the right group of people. But when it comes to everybody else, and when it comes to just having fun and just doing shit, I don't know. It's just about being just having a good time. And I don't know how to really describe it other than it being, just being cool. I really don't. I'm trying to find the words for it, and and you can even tell how many times I'm repeating myself, how many ums and little filler words I'm using just to try and like find the words for it, trying to pad it with like pointless things, which has probably put many people to sleep already whenever they listen to these videos, but it's just, I don't know how else to put it. It's just being a cool guy. Be cool, you know? Get your sunglasses out, just wear them, chill out, lean against a tree, and just enjoy the breeze of winds. Don't be a dick though. But you can go ahead and be a dick. Actually, if someone else is being a dick, you can go ahead and be a dick to them. I mean, I know that Twitter and all that shit going on is just. It's not really a place full of healthy people who are able to even be themselves. And, the one thing I I had tried to hate people, to like hate people simply because I thought they were unpopular or I thought they deserved to be hated or whatever. Sometimes I tended to do that, even as a kid. And, it's not something, it's both an easy thing to fall into and a hard thing to kind of do because I don't know how to put it, but it's just hard to really describe. But I don't know. Whenever I was in like a bunch of spaces which like people really were adamant about like canceling others and like problematic behaviors being bad and whatnot, and in those types of communities, they were at each other's throats like it was nothing. They they always found somebody new to hate, somebody new to very, very much so ridicule, mock, slander, or even attack directly, talk behind their backs. And they might put up a nice front cover, but in truth, they honestly, it's not exactly the type of people you want to be friends with. And I don't know. I separated from them before because I didn't want to be with them. Their entire existence, like once you notice like how many of these people cry and whine and bitch about things almost on a daily basis, you know, you could just search up like the total amount of messages on their server and almost half of it, if not more, are just them like crying and whining, all the discussions, efforts, just them, you know, finding something to complain about and then bitching about it and then laughing about it, and they don't even know how to have fun. They don't know how to just do that kind of shit. And you know, some things do suck. Some things just suck and deserve the absolute fucking ridicule that they deserve. But it's this. I don't know. It's just like they weren't really. It wasn't that they had something to hate that was worth hating. It was that they simply wanted something to hate. Not because it deserved to be hated. Sometimes it tends to be that way. But most times, in, you know, what captures all of their harsh words towards others, towards, you know, towards each other, towards just random strangers because of some random call out post. Um, they're just kind of miserable people. And, you know, it's just very it's just like, you know, it's not about ridiculing being weird either. It's not about ridiculing being normal. It's not about being weird, being or acting normal, or rejecting normal, or ridiculing weird people. It's just about being cool. You know, it's not about hate or be anything of the sort. It's just being yourself. And, you know, it's hard to kind of realize that. It's hard to kind of learn that. And, you know, for certain people as well, including my own, it's just how do you find the people you belong with? How do you find the people you're cool with? And just all that. And, well, I don't even know how to answer that. Because honestly, it's just been luck. I've just been fortunate enough to find like some good people who are been willing to just stick around with me, who are willing to listen to me, and kind of realize that. And I don't know. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't push people away or do something stupidly weird again and whatnot. Or, you know, I mean, I've always been fucking weird. I've always been behaving weird, but, you know, it's not like they pushed me away because, you know, of all the weird things I've done. They punished me, they, you know, pushed me away for the more egregious, like, things that I needed to learn not to do, and, well, kind of fit in now. And I'm still myself, of course, but, you know, it's just I've learned, like, after, you know, I kind of realized after both getting a little pushback on what's not okay to do, and the fact that I've also been uncomfortable with some of the things other people have done, it's just, I realized that I was the one in many points of my life that I I was the one who was making other people uncomfortable, and I was the one who needed to change. Not because, you know, I needed to be normal, but because I was being more weird than I ever had to be to begin with. And I've learned. I've learned, and hopefully I won't do it again. But am still like fucking. I guess I'm still technically young, and there's still like a lot more life to me left. So I can only imagine how many mistakes I'm going to be making at all. So who knows? I'll always just be making mistakes here and there, but, you know, kind of feel like I've been more thoroughly, I feel like I'm more clear minded, and I need to, and what I need to do is more clear as a human being and just daily shit. And I don't know. I honestly, I've always kind of treated this channel as a bit. I wanted, in a way, if this ever did get popular, was just like a bit of like a self help channel, was just like journeying through life and figuring out what to navigate through and how to navigate through everything, despite being as clueless as I am at the start. And I don't know. This is probably the only time I'm gonna be able to word it as well, because I'm pretty sure, like, once I've learned this, I'm probably gonna forget all the struggles I had or whatnot. Not that I, really will, but it's gonna be stuck with me. How I didn't know how to talk, how to do all that stuff. It's just an embarrassing thing. And, I'm probably gonna presume that others who kind of act out are gonna act the same as me, even if they might not be, even if they're doing it for a completely different purpose or whatever. And I don't know, but I guess that's kind of it. I just, after everything so far, all I can really do is just say, look forward to the next year. And, well, it's important to have a bit of hope. And I think I can't call it hope. I just found a fucking new way of doing things, and hopefully it will work. And that's all I can really say about it. It's not hope more so than finding something new to try out, and I think I finally figured it out. I guess not so necessarily something new, but just doing what I've always done. Just be myself. Don't need to have that little urge to just prod people. Though it's good. I still have that little instinct. I do find it funny still, and I probably will have to stop doing that as like a fucking thing. But like, it's just ingrained in me now. It really is. And it's definitely gonna be one of those things that it's not gonna push other people away so long as they don't do it too often. But it's just gonna be one of those things that's gonna fuck me over, won't it? But I don't mind. I know what's too much and what isn't. I still have those little intrusive thoughts, and I'll try not to let them win. And I send somebody some unsolicited fucking cursed shit that's like genuinely disturbing, but otherwise, yeah. I hope you guys have a fantastic new year as well. Hope you guys have a good day and Merry Christmas, a belated one, but hope everybody had a nice time. And, well, I've spoken a lot of big words right through this video, and all I can hope, I guess, is that I can actually live up to all the shit I just said. As small as it is. I literally just said it's just being cool, being myself, and that's probably like the biggest hurdle I have to face and overcome, won't it? Ah, man, I wonder how difficult it's gonna be now. Even, especially given how many times especially given all the fucking times I fucked up, and like, there are people now documenting all the shit that I do now, which is lovely. So I'll be living through all that. I get to, instead of my brain basically reminding me of all the dumb shit that I've done, it's gonna be like hundreds of other people. Not yet, but there's like one or two or a few who are willing to do it, and I don't feel like it's very, very pleasant. But whatever, I guess that's on them if they want to like have me on their mind all the time, because I don't even know their names. I've honestly completely forgot about them, other than the fact that they were kind of assholes. And honestly, I could flip a coin and I'd probably be right about all the false shit that I've said about them out of anger. Just because it'd be funny, and that's just how my life kind of has trended towards. I attract weird people. Weird people like to interact with me. And that's been a constant for both people who have liked me and disliked me. And, I really don't have much to really be or feel very guilty of. It's something definitely I'm ashamed of doing, all the stuff that I've done, but, I guess I don't know, I guess I finally fucking moved on, and, well, those people, who knows? I don't know where the fuck they are. They probably are the type of people who still have me in their fucking minds, given their personalities. I've actually literally, like, I remember, like, once I spent like 5 years away from like a server that I was banned from, and then like I ended up finding like the same fucking guy again. They fucking like came back or some shit, and like they were still as bitter and angry and absolutely fucking demented as they were when they, just, I don't know. That's what I mean by like some people just won't change, or some people just don't do that shit. And he was also really an asshole to me as well. And I kind of, I actually didn't deserve. I don't know. It's hard to fucking debate that. I was actually It was. I honestly was pretty fucking obnoxious then. But that dude just had anger issues that took things out on absolutely everybody. He's got like literal fucking like anger issues, but like it's like a fucking glowing metal rod got shoved up his anus, and like it's just never been removed since, and it's still glowing hot. And honestly, if I did end up fucking finding that ass hat again, I'm pretty sure he'd still be angry even now. Like it's been fucking 5 fucking years, right? And the dude still acted the same. Was still bitter, angry about anything and everything. He was just living such a miserable life, and I don't know. But the fact that I haven't even stumbled across that, the fact that I saw that it was like a mistake that they made, that that's just who they are. Well, I guess I'm doing something right if I'm not that kind of person, just completely angry and just so bitter. And well, I don't know, but at least that's why I'm sure I'm improving. At least I'm still not stuck up on that shit. But then again, I haven't stuck up about myself for the past fucking like who knows how many years trying to work on myself. But I mean, I was literally working on myself since high school, and I had to fucking psychoanalyze every single one of my behaviors, analyze everything. I just sort usually I fucking didn't. My self-awareness comes from the fact that I started fucking working on myself to such a degree I analyzed every single fucking thing I did. And I think that self-awareness actually fucking paid off, but I don't know. But at least I fucking improved. At least like I'm not fucking miserable like those guys. You know, pretty sure it's just gonna be the same story repeated over and over again. But I want to see if like now that I've kind of changed, I want to see if this stuff changed. Honestly, I'm still kind of scared of all the fucking pain and shit that I'll face even just by being myself. Even when I learn not to be as weird, or not as weird, or rather, like not as weird as I used to be, just like weird because I am me, or even pretending to be normal or whatnot. It's just like, you can't win with some people. And even though you know for a fact that they're assholes and they really aren't worth your time, it still hurts, right? So it's just like a punch, really. It's not like it's like getting punched, I'd say. It's just it's going to hurt, but it's not gonna matter in the long run. It's not gonna fucking mean much, but it's still gonna fucking hurt when it happens. So but I don't know. I'm not the type who likes to take punches, but whatever. But end of the video, I need to stop rambling on.